pulled off as quickly as they did, and they're now all hiding here in a shed. So they're in a shed behind a home.
And they're hiding in a shed.
Valley. Widen up the shot here just a touch so you can see exactly where we're at. This is a cul-de-sac, a residential neighborhood. At this point, there was no police helicopter on it because they were about 30 minutes away. So it was just those ground units.
So unfortunately, people, this chase is over.
Right before it came to a stop. So what happened was when he was on that 118 East, he was traveling so fast that he actually lost one of the rear tires, and that is why they pulled off the freeway. And they are now all hiding here.
They're hiding in that shed, people. Eliana Moreno overhead. They were driving so fast on the freeway. They They lost a tire and they foot bailed. They ejectocetoed in that middle of to the bottom right of your screen. So there's a car in the middle of the grass field, and now they're hiding in this shed. They think they can't be seen, but they are in that shed right in front of you, right here. They are in there, all the suspects, a little clown car inside of that shed.
This is Woodhaven Court, the 2400 block. Let me see if I can get you the nearest cross street. This is a...
No units, though, so if they were to leave that shed and go running, they would potentially have a head start on the ground units. They won't get rid of the Eliana, nor they can get rid of any sheriff's department. It's Ventura Sheriff's Department overhead. But right here, people, they are in there. There is multiple suspects inside of this shed.
Ventura County Sheriff's was the original agency on this, but they had handed it over to the California Highway Patrol.
Copy. So unfortunately, there won't be a chase unless it's a foot pursuit. We did have ejectocito right as we went live. Copy. Yeah, this one's going to be short-lived.
They did hit a vehicle at the time. I believe a tire. I think the tire hit the car.
32 months. Wow. Hayes, that's a long time. Marriage.
The
there it is. There's the car they ejectocitoed from. So the wheel fell off that black Dodge Charger. There's got some blue trim to it. It's like it's spray painted. And then they ejectocitoed. They ran through the field, and now they're hiding in that shed. And we will see what happens to said shed.
Why police lost sight of them, but they were behind them at some point here eastbound on the 118 freeway. I can only assume that those officers are getting...
They backed off because it was going too quickly.
At this point, when the pursuit came to an end, they had just terminated the pursuit literally 30 seconds before, but we still had eyes on them, and that is when they fled to this home.
Just tip the shed over. I prefer you know what they should do? They should unleash a wasp nest in there. Put some bees in the shed. No fur missile. There are multiple suspects in that shed right now. And I have my dinner, it was ready, and I had to come over here and start the stream. I'm making a sandwich for dinner, and this is disrupting my sandwich consumption. Tactical bees.
When I last saw them, I think they were all in the shed there, a small little shed, and they probably think that the home is being surrounded by officers at this point.
And they're hiding in a shed from nobody. They could be out, they could be splitting up, they could be running different directions, they could be... Oh, now here comes the popo. Now it's too late. You hiding in that shed.
This is Moore Park Police that is pulling up now, and several units here pulling up now.
Multiple units, including motor officers, tactical bees.
Are clearly outnumbered here. They're in a cul-de-sac. It's going to be tough for them to get away.
Are they bringing tactical bees? Just went live on television, NBC4, 4:37 p.m. Pacific time. No boogity, no chasing, unfortunately.
Moved it over to CHP once it was on the freeway. But look at this, very smart tactic here by Moore Park Police. They are surrounding the home, knowing that they're now in that shed. And
we want bees. Bring in the bees. Send the bees in the shed and make them... Yeah, if they start running, there's an officer waiting for them right here.
There is this SUV here that's gone by a few times. I'm wondering why they keep circling this area, because I have seen them go by a few times. So that's interesting to me. Unknown if they made a call potentially to a friend to come pick them up. So unknown what their thought process is, but they're still hiding in that shed. I can only assume that the officers are going to make call outs here to make those announcements to get these suspects to come out of that shed willingly before they try to approach, unknown if they are armed. So there's a lot of things, a lot of elements that we don't know about these men.
That was the beekeeper. Who said that in the chat?
Before they approach that shed.
That was the
It's interesting.
beekeeper.
I was observing the same thing you were. That SUV looked like it might have been.
I really want to go get my
Tahoe
sandwich,
or
but I'm
some
afraid
sort
if
of
I
Chevy
get
that
up,
moved through
they're
that
going to unleash the
parking lot.
bees. Ooh,
A couple
we've
of
got
times
footage.
they set up
We got replay footage on
basically,
NBC. Look at
there's
this.
really no escape
Catching up with the
except to go
times.
back over the
High
freeway.
rates of speed on the
Kelly, are you
118
thinking
westbound in
we move
Simi
through and
Valley,
ask
headed
people to
through
shelter in
Ventura
place at this
County.
point?
Definitely, that is something that you're going to want to do if you live in this area. Police would have to go door to door in order to know.
I want to go get my sandwich. I'm going to go for it, I think. But I want to see the replay because I did not look at the speeds on the shoulder here. 90 miles an hour on the 118.
Here, it makes it difficult to make those wide area announcements. So if you do live in this area, if you're home, the best thing you can do is just to stay indoors till this situation is resolved. Because again, at this
Here
point,
comes
we
the
don't know if
3-hour
these individuals
standoff
are
of them
armed
sitting
or
in the
what they were
cul-de-sac
wanted
trying to
for.
get these guys out.
We have a large contingency of officers that are now here, and they are armed. They've got.
How did we get this much footage of the chase and we weren't live, Eliana?
Something they can call for, and when the police do feel comfortable, that is when they will approach that shed and take these men into custody.
It's always
Yeah,
something
they're
new.
really sort of like, I'm imagining laying out their plan. I don't see a real sense of urgency at this point. It looks like they have officers.
No
where they want
Bearcat.
them.
We want
Any
bees.
idea whether they have an officer near them?
No Bearcats. We want bees.
Hopped over that fence.
That's the new
That's
thing.
the
No more
event, I
Bearcats.
guess. There we go.
If we're picking animals,
There
no
you go,
fur
Michael,
missiles.
that sheriff's unit right behind the vehicle, because that's another
Okay,
thing.
I'm
They
going
might
for the
have to
sandwich.
secure the car.
And as soon as I get up, they're gonna leave the shed. Watch.
One person will stay in the car. They decide they don't want to run, so they stay with the vehicle, and then they're taken into custody. So that is one thing they had to do, was to clear the vehicle, make sure no one was inside. We do have these two police officers getting that much closer to the area where we know that they are hiding, and it looks like they're just going to take cover there behind that black vehicle, so that they have all corners covered here before they start to make these announcements to try to take these guys into custody.
Well, it's interesting, as they walk up to that house, presumably, they're going to ask people to shelter in place there, but this shed is behind a fence, so the visibility for the officers in front is not that great.
Yeah, it's not that great, but should those men get out of that shed and start jumping fences, potentially into that neighborhood residence, then at least those officers will be there and they'll be able to take them into custody. But we see them here moving that much closer here with the vehicle, and likely going to use that vehicle as a shield here to block themselves and protect
Yeah, they unleashed the
themselves
bees.
from these three suspects. Again, unknown if they are armed, so that is something that they're definitely going to want to be careful about.
I'm just imagining what neighbors must think at this point who have no clue as to what is happening. You see police pull up there, you see them armed, you see them getting into position here as those three suspects sit right there in that shed off to the right of your screen.
Eliana, if you would, give us a location on this again. We know it's Simi Valley.
Yeah, it's Simi Valley. We're just off of a little cul-de-sac called Woodhaven Court near Woodhaven Street. The nearest major is Sequoia, and we're just off of the 118 freeway. The exit that they took, I believe, was Tahoe Canyon. And,
Freshly
they didn't even
Chipotle
make it,
buffalo
on the bottom of
chicken
the,
sliced
they abandoned
turkey.
The vehicle, right there, closest to this neighborhood,
Yum,
which
yum,
is how
yum.
they ended up here, and then ran through this grassy area, jumped that first fence, and that shed was the first thing that they came up on, so that's what they're hiding. It's a good thing they're hiding there and not inside of the residence, of course, because
They're
we don't
still
know
in that damn
the residents
shed.
are home. I can't really see a car in the driveway from this angle.
What did they
It's a
think was gonna
risky
happen?
Situation to have three people you don't know just jump into your home, obviously. So the fact that they went into the shed was really the best thing possible for officers, because now they know that they're contained. They are contained in that shed, and when the time is right, they'll try to take them into custody.
Eliana, to Colleen's point, the line of visibility for
Sorry,
these officers
it's
because of
buffalo,
that fence there,
buffalo,
isn't
blazing
that
buffalo
great. Is
chicken
this
breast.
a case where, in fact, they may
So
ask
that's
you
one of
to
my
surround
sandwiches,
homeowners
and
to
the
gain
other
access to
is
their
this
property so they have a
delicious
better vantage point?
chive and onion
Yeah, absolutely. That is
cream
something they
cheese
can
that I
do.
put on
We
a
did see
bagel
those
with my
officers that
other
go
sandwich.
to the nearby residence, And this is a situation where they may just actually wait for the police ship. Again, when the pursuit
Wait
broke
for
out,
what?
The airship was 30 minutes away. Was
No, we
when it
can't
was
do a
here.
marathon chase. I got
So
shit
right
to
now
do.
he's probably about 10 to 15
I got
minutes
Knicks to
out.
watch.
They may wait for him to arrive just so that they do have that aerial vantage.
Gotta
point
wait for a
in case we have
police ship to
situation where
get
they
these
start jumping
fucking
fences.
kids out of a
And then just to
shed.
give them a
Go
better
over there
insight,
and kick it over.
can see exactly what we're seeing now. We can see
Or
shed, we
unleash
can
the
see
bees.
officers, we can see the perimeter.
You have
and
so
kind of
many
see,
options besides waiting for an
options
airship.
of where they may try to flee. So we may be here for a little bit. But
Oh my
kind of
God.
outside of the officers, there's really no rush in trying to move things quickly and then potentially have somebody either get away or have
Have
somebody
they
get
tried knocking on the door? I don't know.
Michael and Ileana, as we look
Maybe
at
say,
it,
"Hey, we know
saw
you're in there.
three
Would you like to come out?" And they
bail
might
out
say
front,
yes.
into that shed. I haven't even seen the door sort of peek open. Anybody? sort
Maybe
of
it's a
look in
tunnel.
to see what's going
Wait,
on, and we
could it
still
be a
don't know
secret
what
tunnel in there?
the want is on this, right, Ileana?
Like Chapo?
Yeah, still don't know what the want is, but they were driving at very high speeds on the freeway in that Mercedes. And I do have an update about the airship. We do have another airship that just arrived on scene. So
Oh,
to
great.
take over the police aspect of this, it is the Ventura County Sheriff's helicopter.
Are they
So that
digging a
means,
tunnel?
It does give them the ability.
The same way that Chapo
to,
had tunnels underneath the toilet
to
seat?
potentially
Could there be a
approach
tunnel in that
now,
shed?
considering that they have a bird's eye view on it all.
That would be the
We also have
craziest
that
thing I've
police
ever
cannon
seen if
and
they're not
something else
inside
we're
that
kinda
shed.
waiting for.
If they're not inside that shed, I'm going streaking.
Come to the scene, and there he is. So his services may be used in this type of situation. But as you were saying, Colleen, with that wood fence there in the way, they really can't see the shed. But with the police helicopter overhead, at least they have that vantage point now.
So if you could sort of let you covered a lot of these, Eliana, what is the game plan right now? Are they going to bark orders out for the three to exit?
Is there a
the shed?
Doge?
Are they going to send the canine in first?
Is there Doge?
Walk us through.
Doge, I see a tail!
So make announcements from the police helicopter or even
Who's a good boy?
from the vehicle.
Oh, it's a big Doge. Oh, look at the tail.
Into them in different languages, in case
It's in the
it's a
back.
barrier, and if it's
Sorry,
still
I was
not
busy
being
making my
responded,
sandwich.
That is when they can either send in a police canine. They could, and if this was a home,
How's the dog? How's the fur missile gonna get in there? It doesn't open doors.
Tear gas. If it was a vehicle as well.
It's like they're using this chase to just practice all of their different
they can do,
tactics.
not knowing if these guys are armed, I think they're going to be a little bit more
Put the dog in a bee costume. You guys in the chat are funny
Continue
today.
to try to make these announcements and just kind of see if they get compliance.
Two,
that
two,
way.
two. Nick's
You know,
clips.
it's
Okay,
interesting
good.
as
I have
we
all the
look at this
James Harden
cul-de-sac,
unders.
Woodhaven Court, you said in Simi Valley, even with all the cars on the street there, I haven't seen anyone except for that one pedestrian who sort of sauntered by the cul-de-sac and kept going. Nobody seems to be looking out or peeking out or checking out. It's as if it's so quiet, nobody knows what's going on.
I don't see. I lost it. I think.
Makes me wonder if, since we
Oh,
can't
she's doing
actually
her
hear the
Telemundo
audio,
hit.
perhaps a shelter
Copy.
in place was,
Issue.
blasted over that speaker there, and then of course neighbors here are adhering to what the officers possibly said. Interesting
Nope.
situation, Colleen. We saw the canine.
Cheese.
The canine looks ready to make a move.
Chicken.
Again, there's certain protocols that are in place
Sliced
here
chicken,
before that can
turkey
actually happen,
pepperoni,
as Eliana
and hot
mentioned.
sauce.
Perhaps from the airship, perhaps from the bullhorns there on the ground, they will make announcements that they are surrounded. And
I eat dinner
again,
at 4:45
ready to make a move
because I only
possibly.
eat 2
And
meals a
they have
day.
to get access to that backyard. I mean, that canine might be
Helps
good,
me
but
stay
that's supposed
slim.
to be a tall enough fence there that doesn't look like something the canine could scale. But Michael, you mentioned urgency just a couple of minutes ago, and you look at the body language with the officers out there.
so
As we
tasty.
point out many, many times, time is on their side. They can wait those guys out. They know they're in
See?
that shed. Or
They went in the shed.
And, they pretty much have them cornered at this point.
So Eliana, we know the three are in the shed. Anything you're hearing on the scanner at this point? Any new information?
Yeah, there's one thing. There's one thing we are hearing, and it's unconfirmed at this point, but we are hearing that they're possibly burglary suspects that may have hit up a local Nike store. Again, this
Huh?
when we first heard about it was already on the 23. It was headed northbound on the 23. They exited at Tierra Rehada for a little bit before getting right back on that 23 and then eventually the 118 east. So when we first heard about this, it was already on the freeway, so unclear at this point where that store may be located. But that is what we're hearing, that they were possibly involved in
I love when Eliana does that voice. When she's really into something and she goes a little deeper. Who's really located. Like it's, you guys can tell the difference, right?
Armed robbery, that really does change things. If it was an armed robbery, then we would know that these men are potentially armed. So at this
Hot
point,
sauce.
officers,
Frank
of
Red's
course,
hot.
have to
Frank's
be,
Red Hot. Come on.
very mindful of that, and that is why
Step
we're
your game
seeing
up.
them really take their time on this one. There's really no point in rushing. These officers can outlast these three suspects by a long shot. So they're going to
Someone said get a
make the
forklift.
announcements, and again, when the time is right, they can come up with a tactical plan on how it is that they're going to approach this shed. This may even turn into a SWAT standoff where they bring out the Bearcats just to have a
What?
little more protection.
Why?
This could be a situation that could
No
be here for
Bearcats.
some time. And again, this is in Simi Valley, a residential area just off of the 180.
You don't need the Bearcats.
Cul-de-sac.
Just go tip it over. It's like a porta potty.
Do you know if they've made any announcements to residents in the area? Are you able to tell that from your vantage point?
Hard to tell, but usually with the police helicopter overhead, that is one of its responsibilities, is to make these wide area announcements to tell people to stay indoors. If that is the announcement, not everyone is listening, because we do see some
we do
residents coming
see,
out of
yeah.
their home. Yeah, right there, just across the street. Understandable. I mean, this area of Simi Valley, obviously a really nice area, quiet neighborhood under most circumstances. So people are just curious
Ah!
about what's going on. But here
They're going in
So officers approaching
with a riot shield.
This is the sheriff's
And
department.
a Doge.
And then more park police is in the back there. You can tell the difference by their
Riot shield. There's a Doge locked and loaded.
Department approaching with the shield. So let's see what they do. If they're simply just going to try to open the gate here to give them a little bit better vantage point. Or
They don't know if those people have
just,
weapons inside of the shed. Oh my God, the gate is open. The suspense.
see them at least opening.
If you're just joining us, they're in that
A
shed.
little bit better line of sight, and it looks like that is the plan for now. At least just
Oh
be
my
able to
God.
see that shed, and that gate is now open. Those officers retreating, and now we'll continue to watch what the next move will be.
Perhaps
It's
the
a
next
barricade
move, will
situation
you
is
see
what it is.
With the gate open, Eliana?
Gate open, but
That is
how does
quite
the gate,
possible.
how does a dog open the shed? There lies that other question.
I think perhaps the three voluntarily coming.
How does a dog open the shed?
Hearing that dog, that is for sure. So Eliana, we saw the three officers there retreat. So the plan moving forward would be to, anyone's guess at this point?
Yeah, at this point, there we go. The door is opening, so it looks like
Door's open.
some
Oh, you
compliance
are
here.
absolutely right, Michael.
Yeah, sometimes just the threat alone of being bitten by a dog.
The dog? The Doge?
Comply. So it looks like that is what did it in this case. We have the first man coming out here. I can't quite remember what the driver was wearing.
Look at this clown car.
But we did see three people get out of the vehicle. And,
There's three.
It looks like they are all coming out of the shed now and are complying. And going to be laying down there in that front yard. But one of the things that officers will do is just to try to get them to scoot away from
How many
the
people are in that shed?
have, this young man
Ah,
just
Doge!
walk a little
Doge!
bit, walk, even towards
Doge!
them, perhaps.
Locked and loaded.
When the time is right, they will approach each one individually.
For a missile?
Take them into
Huh?
custody. The car has already
Oh, he's in a prone position.
up with three people in custody here in Simi Valley.
Makes me wonder.
Oh my God, that Doge is right there. They said they'll send the dog and they came running out.
Yeah,
Look
you
at the
can see
Doge
that
going nuts.
The
Ready and
canine is
willing
ready.
to do his job.
Yeah, so the
Oh my
canine
God.
is there, and they will keep them. They're at the ready just in case any of these guys potentially try to run for it. But at this point, it does appear that everyone is complying. We're coming around so we can get a slightly better shot of these guys giving themselves up. One person already in custody. The man in
Get
the
that pursuit
red
tree
jacket is next.
out of the way,
walking
please.
Back toward the officers. So how it works from here is they will.
can you imagine someone
handcuff
trying to
they'll
run
search
what
this
that
person
Doge
to
would
make
do to
sure
them?
that he doesn't have a weapon on him or anything that could potentially harm any of the officers. And then eventually everyone will be placed into the back of a patrol unit. And again, this started with Ventura County, so it
You
will
don't
be
see a
the
clown
officers
shed very
that
often.
will take the
Look at that.
back
We got a
of the
Patrick Starfish over on the grass.
All right, I see the last of the three suspects there in the tan.
It's a clown shed.
Essentially spread eagle, arms out, legs up. Now he is being
Oh,
positioned.
I thought he was getting up to run for a second. Oh my
The
God.
last of the three here to
He would have
be,
gotten the fur missile.
cuffed and put into that patrol car, Eliana.
Yeah, 3 out of 3, everyone complying here. So this really ended up in the safest way possible. It was a dangerous pursuit when it was on the 118 freeway, as well as the 23. High speeds, about 100 miles an hour. Didn't collide with anything. The only thing that did happen was they lost a tire. That did hit another car, but I believe it hit a box truck, so nobody hurt in that situation
big
from what
Dodge.
we were able to gather. But again, unconfirmed what the original want was, but at least the preliminary information that we're getting is that they were possibly involved in a robbery of a Nike store. Unknown if they got away with anything or if that was an armed robbery. But again, 3 men in custody, and when the time is right, officers will approach that shed to clear it to make sure that nobody is inside, and it will end likely with just 3 men in custody here in Simi Valley.
Once again, that's just off the 118 at
Oh,
Woodhaven
Doge is moving
in
to the
Simi
shed to
Valley.
clear the shed.
Officers obviously walking through, perhaps notifying some of the other neighbors who may or may not know what's going on, but they're about to go in and check out the shed at this point.
They let the Doge go.
Same way, Atlanta, as you mentioned.
They let the Doge go.
The car is clearly gonna make sure that there are no.
It's in the shed. Velociraptor's in the shed.
Count of 3 early on, so far 3 in custody. All right, Eliana Moreno, live for us in News Channel.
Oh, there he is.
Appreciate your coverage. All right,
No.
a live look right now, switching gears in many ways here. Live shot of LAX.
Yeah, traffic's a lot slower at the airport.
Damn it. So they let the Doge go to clear the shed to see if there were any other clowns inside. And they probably wanted to see if there was other weapons and stuff. That's why they were treating it so cautiously, because you don't know if those 3 suspects have guns pointed at the shed. You open the door, you get blasted away. And also, Doges don't have opposable thumbs. So how are they supposed to open the shed? You send the fur missile in there to clear it. And how funny would it be if the Doge walked out with a code 4, with his paws up in the air? Oh, that's a great T-shirt, by the way. Code 4, but it's a paw, and it's four little Doge paws. We're code 4. It trains to put its paw up into the air. That would be amazing. Look at this response, by the way. That's a lot of units. Code fur. Oh my God, who said that in the chat?
They just got the code for on this.
Louis VR. Instead of code 4, we're code fur. Dog cleared the shed, people. We're code fur. Just drop the L.
Go ahead and go back to parking over the 118 where we were earlier, where like we could see the suspect car.
Copy.
Just because it's almost top of 5, so just in case they want like a recap. Hey there, Booth.
Give us a copy before we go, Eliana.
Hey guys, I copy.
Oh, we got Bob on fire today. Copy.
Okay, copy.
Copy. One more. Can I be greedy? Sheds breed sheds. Chases breed chases. Yeah, there was like 15 cop cars there. Robbery suspects, barricade situation. Look at this. They've even got the 118 blocked off. They have cops in the other parking lots too. Steve in the chat says, for a chaseless chase, this was electric. This was fucking... That's why you never leave a chase until it's code 4. Or in this case, code fur.
Yeah, this works right.
How
here.
many-
You can see the car and I can
How
see
many
the-
paws is on a... Don't they have 3? What's the sign? This is code fur. Like a claw, a paw.
Go ahead, Booth, go ahead. Oh, really?
Oh, really?
Hey, copy that.
Copy. There it
Oh,
is.
that's nice. Hey, we're at
We're gonna get a recap at the top of the hour here. That was delicious. The code pause. Who did that in the chat? We are code fur. That is a true code 4, by the way. If the dog's able to clear the vehicle or the shed, you know the chase is over.
Carlina, we just got a confirmation here from the police.
No one is
overhead
above the
that
paw.
those, individuals in that black Mercedes were wanted
Okay,
for retail
everybody
theft,
be quiet.
from
Eliana.
a local store. Unclear if they got away with anything or if that was an armed robbery. But what we do see here is that the Topo Canyon exit off of the 118 East is still blocked there as police clear the vehicle. Now, this all ended here in a residential area just off of Woodhaven Court. Just south of the 118 freeway, and those three individuals hiding in that shed for at least 15 minutes while police set up a perimeter in the area to try to take them into custody. But it was a dangerous chase on that 118 freeway, high speeds. Finally ended up here with the three men giving themselves up for custody voluntarily without further incident. But again, all ending here in Sea Bay Valley. That is the latest from News Chapter 4. I'm Eliana Marino. Back to you in the studio.
Back to you. Copy.
Oh, thanks, guys.
You see? You guys hear the voice change? Thanks, guys. She has her TV.
See from the chopper. I'm sorry, assignment desk on the 450 from the chopper.
All right. On that note, I think that's a good time to say goodbye. Paw and order has been served. We are code fur, excuse me, and no one is above the paw. No one. There are multiple shirts to be made there. No one is above the paw. And then a picture of a fur missile. Paw and order with a fur missile. And code fur. Remember that for next time. Next time we see a Doge, I want to make sure we turn this into a thing. It's our new evolution of our little bits that you would only know about if you were watching birdsintheair.com for merch, as well as at Skywob Alerts. If you're not already, follow the account, turn on your notifications. I'll be back with you. Chases breed chases. We got choppers in the air. It's 5 o'clock. It's rush hour. Chance of getting another chase could happen. Just saying. Till next time. See you guys on the timeline. Deuces.